Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to use the tripod and the camera, and how to set up your shot. So the first thing you need to do is, when you look at the tripod, is you can see it has this little thing right here. So this pops off. This part gets screwed to the bottom of this. So I'm going to do that really quick. So as you can see, it's screwed in. Now I'm going to slide it in here. So now that it's on, you have this little gimbal here that can slide it up and down, and this turns to tighten it so it doesn't move. So you get that where you want it, and then these legs obviously can unbuckle and come up, so you get the desired height that you want. So first we're going to set up our shot with Darth Klaber. As you can see, I have my desired height. Now normally you'd probably have all the legs up and secured. I have the setup of the shot I want. I'm going to place them around these chairs. So the first thing I need to do is turn on my camera. And you can see that's the plane you're working with right here. So I think you need at least 4 shots, so maybe I'll put one of them right there, one of them right there, maybe 2 right there. So I'll do maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shots, and you can see how I set it up. So for my first shot, I'm going to position him right about there. Maybe move him more this way. So whoever's taking your picture, make sure they are spatially aware of where you are in the picture frame, so you're not overlapping. And if you are overlapping, it's minimal. So for this first shot, I'm not going to touch the tripod. I'm just going to hit the shutter button. So there's my first shot. Now for the second shot, I want to move them right about to right over there. So that's where I move them. So I'll move him. Make sure you don't hit the tripod. Okay, that looks good. Just gonna hit the shutter, not hit the tripod. Now I'll move him to the next chair. And this is usually when the director, whoever's taking your pictures, direct you to where to go. I'll tell you, where should I go? So there's the third shot. Just hit shutter button. I'll move to the next chair. If you have an animal, it'd be probably hard. Maybe it's a cat, who knows. Alright, so that looks good. Maybe move them a little bit more this way. There we go. Alright. Notice, never touching the tripod. I'm going to put them in the red chair. Hit again, not hitting the tripod. And then for the last shot, move him right about here, front and center. See, he's lined up very nicely right there. And then you're done. Now notice, tripod remains still. The only thing that was moving in the picture frame, and that is the picture frame right there, was the person in the picture. So that's the only thing that should move. Make sure you don't hit this by accident. If you do, you have to start over and and make sure everything's nice and tight on there. So all these snaps and fasteners are tight. The next step is to assemble it in Photoshop. Okay, so now we're going to assemble our photos into Photoshop. So what you need to do is, and hopefully you have your photos downloaded onto your computer or laptop, and they're somewhere where you know they are. So you go to File, Scripts, Load Files into Stack. So File, Scripts, Load Files into Stack. This window is going to pop up. You want to hit Browse, and you want to go to wherever you saved them. I saved mine in a folder in the desktop called Multi, and you're just going to make a box like this to select all of them at the same time. You can see they're all right there. Then you hit OK. So once you do that, you're going to see them all populate right there. You hit OK. And what's going to happen is, if you look over here on the Windows, the layers window, you'll see them basically stack on top of each other. So that's what they call it, load files into stack. Alright, so once you do that, you can turn off the eyeballs and see if your camera shifted at all when you hit the shutter button. And you can see there's a slight shift. It's hardly noticeable right there. You guys see that it moves just a little bit up there, but that's, like I said, it's minimal. It's not that bad. So the first thing you want to do is figure out which picture is the furthest in the distance away from the camera, because that is going to be your very bottom layer. So I'm going to turn off each eyeball, figure out it's probably this one or this one. So either one will work. So this one or that one, this one or that one, doesn't really matter. So I'll choose this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the one that's furthest back, which is this one. Turn off all these other ones. I'm going to move this all the way to the bottom. So it's all the way to the bottom. You're not going to do anything to this one. The only things you're going to be doing are on these layers. So after you do that, I turn off all my layers. I like to do that just to, keep it one layer at a time so I know what I'm doing. So I'm going to go to the top layer. Obviously you want to highlight it, and you'll see there's the picture right there in your layer window. But we need to make what's called a layer mask, and here's how you do that. If you look down on your layers window, you'll see this pop up, and it says Add Layer Mask. I'm going to click on that. Now I'm going to go to the next layer. I'm going to do the same thing. Add Layer Mask. Click on the next layer. Add Layer Mask. Go to the next layer. Add Layer Mask. Go to the next layer. Add Layer Mask. But I'm going to leave the bottom layer totally alone. Not even going to mess with that. So now that I did that, I'm going to go back to my original layer, which is this one. And you can see that this picture is highlighted, and I want to click on the white. The white is the layer mask. Now white represents everything is present, and black means everything's gone. So if I were to go Image, Adjustments, Invert, it deleted everything. The eyeball's on, but it deleted everything. So if I use a white brush, I'm just going to use a regular brush, and I go like this. I need to put that on 100%. You can see that it comes back. And if I switch to black, it takes away. So what I'm going to do is, you don't need to do any of this. I was just showing you what the layer mask does. I'm going to leave it back to white. What you're going to do is, you're going to use a black brush. Black brush, there's the brush tool. Not the color replacement tool or the mixer brush, but the regular brush tool. You're going to go up here to the options bar. You want to make sure you set the hardness to 0%. It's got to be at 0%. And you're going to want to make your brush pretty large. You can see it's about as large as that. And what you're going to do is, I'm going to basically erase my Darth Kleber there as best as I can, even getting the shadow or the reflection on the chair. Now you can see right here, I've clicked on the white box. I wasn't clicking on that. Never click on these pictures, only click on these layer masks. So I have this, except I want to invert it. I want to keep this, but delete everything else. So I'm going to go to Image, Adjustments, Invert. And you can see it comes back. Now, I always like to do this just to make sure I didn't miss anything, because sometimes you miss stuff when you erase it and you don't even see it. I'm going to switch back to white, and I'm going to basically make sure I colored everything that I needed to color in, you know, see if I missed anything. And then I'm going to click on the very, very bottom layer just to see what it looks like. And you can see, okay, now we have two right there. So I'm going to turn this one off. Turn this one off. Now I'm going to go to the second layer. I'm going to turn that one on. Do not click on this one, but you click on the white square. I'm going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to switch to my black brush. Basically, make him go away. Image, Adjustments, Invert. You can see I think I missed a little spot on his head, so I'm going to switch back to white. Color that in. You can see it gets a little darker. That shadow, that reflection. Now I'll turn on this one, and then I'll turn on this one. So now I have three. Turn these off. Go to the third layer. I'm going to click on the white box. Switch to my black brush. Erase him. Image, Adjustments, Invert. Switch to white. It looks like I did it kind of fast. Color him back in. Now I'll see what it looks like with all of those on. Alright, you see, look, I'm getting kind of close right there. So if you do overlap, you might have to, you know, change your brush to a smaller size and even bump up the hardness a little bit. I would never go all the way to 100. I'd always, you know, if you have a severe case of overlapping, you know, don't take it to 100 because then it looks kind of fake. So always have some kind of feather going on, and you know, feather what you need to take away in case you're overlapping like these two. So I'm gonna edit and undo that. I don't think I have any overlapping issues. So turn on this one. Okay, so now I have 4 showing up. I'm gonna turn off this one, turn off this one, turn off this one, turn off this one. Now I have 2 more to do. Very simple. Just click on the ones I haven't done yet. You can tell the ones that are done have this black square with a little white showing. So always click on the layer mask, which is right there. Black brush takes away, so I'm constantly adjusting my size and hardness on mine just to make sure I get good coverage. So I do that, get the little shadow. Image, Adjustments, Invert. Switch to white. Get any spots that I missed. If he's got a shadow, I definitely want to put that in. It makes it more realistic. I'll turn on all these just to see what it looks like. And then the last one will be this one right here. So I'm on the white box. Switch to black. Get him out of here. Okay, like that. Image, Adjustments, Invert. And you can see I missed some spots. You don't have to be really good on the first erasing job as long as you switch to white and take your time making sure you get all the details that you want, and make sure you get the shadows and or reflections. So now that I have all of them done, I will turn all the eyeballs on. I will check for any ghosting issues in case something moved. I don't see any. This looks pretty flawless. Now lastly, you're going to need to type in your signature. So I will go to my type tool, change it to a font I like, go to my old standard impact. You're going to type in your name. If you need to edit free transform, obviously do that. If you want to italicize it, you can hold down Control on your keyboard and grab it right there. Apply. You usually want to keep your signature at the bottom somewhere. I'm going to make mine into a watermark. And in case you forget how to do that, here's how you do it. You just go into blending options, which is right click on that layer, blending options. And you're going to click on bevel and emboss. Change that to white. You know, you can mess with those layers or levels if you want to. I'll do a stroke, except I'll turn this down a little bit. It's too strong. And then you'll do a drop shadow. You can do a color or just black, whatever you want to do. Now, after you do that, you hit OK. Now it's not see-through yet, because in order to make it see-through, you need to go to Fill, and you turn that all the way down to 0. And there we go. And now it's see-through. Last step, File, Save As. Save it as a JPEG. And this allows you to either email it to yourself, post it on social media, whatever, because JPEGs are web friendly. So I will save it as Multiplicity. Hit save. And for my students, that'll be the file that you upload into Collage so I can grade it. So, like I said, relatively easy. This took me basically 12 minutes just to assemble that. It could have gone a lot faster if I wasn't narrating, but this is a relatively easy project. If you have overlapping, that's when it gets a little tricky, and that's when you need to do some, problem solving and figure out which layer is overlapping with which layer, and you have to, fine tune your brush to make sure your layer masks look legit. So hopefully it turned out pretty well. Submit it, and happy photoshopping. Alright, so I'm showing this video just in case you have overlapping that could cause a problem. And you can see right here we've got a huge problem because we have overlapping and this needs to be erased. So I have to show you how to do that. So first you got to figure out which layer you need to figure out which one that is. Okay, it's not this one, it's not this one. You can see I'm turning off the eyeballs, trying to figure out which layer is responsible for the ghosting, and it's this one. So you can see I'm on this one. I'm going to leave all the layers on for this, and I'm in the layer mask. I'm going to get my black brush, and this is where you need to figure out different sizes and hardness. So I'm going to turn this down and turn the hardness up, try it about 50%. So I want a smaller brush so I can basically skate along the outside of his body, getting as close to his jeans as I possibly can. You can see I zoom in for this, and I just very carefully erase there. So you might have to make your brush smaller and get really zoomed in to figure out any spots that need to be erased. I'm using the black brush tool. Try to want to get rid of that fringe right there. That's why it's good to have like, around 50% with this brush small. So you don't want it a super hard brush. So this is just in case you have subjects that overlap. So it might take a little longer than usual. So it's good to structure your pictures so they don't overlap. Now it's coming back to looking normal. Still got that little fringe, so I gotta work on that. Because that'll be kind of noticeable. This is how we get good. Just pay attention to the details. I wonder if there's anything there. Yep, looks like there is. Brush a little bit bigger. Get smaller, so you can see I'm constantly changing my brush size. So you can see now it looks good, except it still looks kind of fake right there. So I'm going to go back in with the brush, make it a little bit bigger and super soft. Try to feather that out a little better. And I think I got it. I think that's it. So that's what you do in case there's overlapping and you have ghosting. Hopefully that explained it well.